Hello everyone and welcome back to the Belgian Beer Brothers channel. Cedric here in Antwerp with a lovely blonde to enjoy but not to review today. Instead, I would like to quickly go over the Toer de Geuze haul of the 2024 edition. Now, as many of you guys know, Toer de Geuze is a biannual event organized by Horal, or the High Council of Lambic Brewers and Blenders, of de Hoge Raad van Ambachtelijke Lambic Brouwers en Stekers, during which all the Horal members and some others as well open their doors to the grand public to come and visit the brewery, taste the beers, buy some exclusives, see something new. Now, unfortunately, I didn't find the time to make videos during Toer de Geuze, but the organization did have a film crew and I'll be visiting separately when things are a lot calmer, because damn, it was busy. Now, the Antwerp Beer College, a club that I'm a board member in, organizes several bus trips on Saturday and Sunday, and each of those buses visits 4 breweries. This year I joined 2 of those, visiting 7 breweries in total because one overlapped, and of course I got a bunch of beers as well. On Saturday we visited Kestemond, Lindemans lambic fabriek and ended at Oud Beersel, and on Sunday we started at Hansen's Artisanal and then went on to Den Herberg, then visited Boon and again ended up in Oud Beersel. Now, I will not be talking about Boon and Oud Beersel because I didn't buy anything there. I still had a lot of stock. But let's have a look at the rest of our visits. Right now, let's talk about our second stop on the tour, and mainly the reason why I joined this bus instead of any other one, Lindemans. Now, I had never visited Lindemans before, and there's this one particular tumbler glass that my mom loves, so I needed to get her one, of course, and one for me as well. This one right there. Now, Lindemans is a very well known but also a very large brewery, not to say the largest lambic brewer and provider in Belgium. Now, they have the name, the fame and the money to accompany all that, and lucky for us, Lindemans loves to spend a bunch of that money to create a fantastic atmosphere and a great experience for us, the visitors. And being a family brewery, they don't forget families either, with music, sports, bouncy castles for the little ones. A great experience it was. But of course, there was a lot of animation for us old farts as well. The tour started by entering through the brew house, which was active for the day, and we got the chance to look inside all of the kettles and vessels and even walked around an active cool ship. Yeah, that was pretty cool. But the second step surprised me. We actually got a taster of 6-month-old lambic and a taster of 2-year-old lambic, and the man handing them out told us a bit about the blending process. That wasn't too special, but next to that stand we could buy an empty bottle for 10 euros. Of course, not just that empty bottle, that would be hell expensive, but they had a blend your own Geuze experience set up with 4 barrels, a sugary 10-month-old lambic, some young 12-month-old, a sharp 24-month-old, and a novelty 36-month-old lambic aged on cognac barrels. We got tasters of all 4, and after a bit of explaining, we got to blending and bottling our own Geuze, which was so nice. At first, actually, I wasn't eager to do so and planned on walking by, but as a brewer and a lambic head, I felt morally obliged to do this at least once in my life. Now, after the blend your own experience, we went to the main hall where everything was happening, but on the way there, we were led through the bottling plant. In its own, nothing special except for the sheer size and modern character, but the fact that there was yet another taster stand caught us off guard. This time with nothing but juice. We got to taste the pure cherry, peach and raspberry juice that they use for their fruit lambics. And when talking to one of the people there, it became clear that these juices are used only for the regular fruit lambics. So the Cuvée René, for example, or the master blends are macerated with fruit, and these juices are only for the regulars. Upon continuing our way, we passed through a dark and mystical booth with loads of neon light and dry ice smoke. And I must admit that I am a sucker for gimmicks like these. Here we were handed tasters of Lindemans' youngest beer, the Tarot Noir and the Tarot d'Or. Developed to compete with the other heavy fruit beers like Sherry Chouf and Castel Bier Rouge, these 8%ers are boozy and sweet. Very sweet. The brewery is very open in their communication, and they admit that these are made with fruit syrups. Nothing wrong with that, of course. Now, I would like to pause here and draw your attention to the fact that up until this point, we had spent 10 euros each, and for that amount of money, we got to taste 11 things. So 6 lambics, 3 juices, and 2 fruit beers. And we got that blend your own Geuze bottle as well. Well worth the money, I would say, but even if you wouldn't participate in the blend your own, you'd still have 2 lambics, 3 juices and 2 fruit beers all for free. I would call that pretty good value. Well, okay, moving on. Of course, when we finally made it to the main hall, we tasted some beers as well. That was kind of the goal of that day. But our time was limited again, so we only had a few, and luckily we were with a group still, so we were able to share, and in doing so taste some more. Again, we shared 75 centiliter bottles with 4 or 5 people this time, and I'm not going into detail because I'll feature each one of them on the channel. But in short, our Lindemans journey was kicked off by a bottle of Goik, a collaboration blend of 1-year-old lambic by Lindemans and Toots, a top fermented beer by Koenraad Godot. We followed that with a bottle of 2024 Mega Blend, a blend of lambics by all participating breweries, blended by the master himself, the Pope of Geuze, Frank Boon. As often is the case, we feel it was blended relatively young, so we will be putting some bottles in the cellar to age. We finished our visit off with a birthday celebration, getting a bottle of Lindemans Pure Toer de Geuze, a lovely 7-year-old Geuze blended in 2017. And lovely as in general, lovely, lovely, lovely. As far as the haul goes, I got a glass my mom loves so much and a classic Geuze glass, and bought some beers as well. Now, of course, we already had our own blend, and I got a bottle of that Pure Toer de Geuze and the Goik that we had. And I also felt that this was the moment to get some bottles of that Horal Mega Blend as well. I topped that off with a bottle of Blossom Geuze, a 6% ABV blend with elderflowers. And the people of Lindemans were kind enough to throw in 2 bottles of Faro as well, which is always much appreciated. Now, we already knew that Lindemans is a very generous brewery. Apart from all those things we got for free and those 2 Faros and the dirt cheap blend your own experience and stuff, I haven't forgotten that they sent me a bunch of merchandise, amongst which this plaque was. So yeah, thanks again to Lindemans. And if you want to know more about Lindemans, follow the link down below to the brewery website. If you want to know more about Horal, follow that link. And I also included a link to the Antwerp Beer College. Check that out as well. If you want to become a member, it is dirt cheap and you do get discounts on all our activities. We send out magazines and you can ask us anything. So that all being said, I'm gonna enjoy this lovely blonde a bit more, and I will see you guys again tomorrow for the next Toer de Geuze haul update, which will be Hans's Artisanal.